My first season, I was hiding something with Edwin, and I 99% thought that our marriage wasn't going to make it.
Teddi Mellencamp. Did you hear about how her and her husband are separating?
Allegedly cheated on her estranged husband, Edwin Arroyave, with her married friend, Simon Schroeder.
I had so much resentment towards Edwin. It was to the point where I couldn't even look at him.
Are you saying he cheated on you?
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. Today, we're diving into the messiest divorce to hit Beverly Hills since Kyle and Mauricio. As on November 1st, Teddi Mellencamp filed for divorce from her husband of 13 years, Edwin Arroyave. In this video, we'll be diving into a full and detailed timeline of everything we know so far, including a relationship recap, Teddi's demands in the divorce filing, Edwin's response to the filing, and a whole load of cheating allegations on both sides that are playing into this mess while the pair are still living under the same roof. There's so much to cover in this story, guys, from cheating rumours to brawls at horse shows and the crazy differences between Teddi and Edwin's proposed separation dates, plus how Kyle and Mauricio play into all of this. I've got the full timeline of everything we know so far, so let's jump right in. Before we dive in, I'd like to say a huge thank you to you all for helping me hit 5,000 subscribers. I've been making videos on reality TV news for just over a year now, and I can't believe the support I've had so far. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined the Celebrity News Addict family. If you're new here or you haven't yet subscribed, I'd like to ask you a massive favor to please subscribe if you're new to this channel. I release new videos on reality TV news and behind the scenes drama every other week, and I'll be here bringing you updates on this divorce and a whole host of housewives drama. So please like this video, comment below what you want to see next, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to follow on with the messy, non-stop drama. So, to start with, we have to rewind to 2009, when Teddi and Edwin first met. Teddi met Edwin in a nightclub in Hollywood back in 2009, where the pair hit it off. Speaking on their first night together, Teddi said, quote, "I was tricked a little bit because when I first saw Edwin, he had a beanie cap on. And then when I saw him the next morning, the beanie was off and there was a ponytail hanging out the back. I thought after that night that was just one of those stories that you'd tell your girlfriends. Maybe I'll hang out with him one more time." But one night turned into almost 15 years together, as just 2 years after meeting, the pair tied the knot in July 2011 in a ceremony in Indiana. During their 13-year marriage, the couple welcomed 3 kids into their family: Slate, aged 12, Cruz, aged 10, and Dove, aged 4. Fast forward to 2017, and Teddi Mellencamp joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 8, where she was known for her accountability coaching and pot stirring. During Teddi's run on the Housewives, which lasted from seasons 8 through 10, it seems all wasn't sunshine and rainbows in her marriage. In fact, in an episode of her podcast, 2 Teas in a Pod with Tamra Judge, which aired back in March 2023, Teddi spoke on her first few days filming Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and hiding her marital struggles from the other wives, saying, quote, "When we first started, I remember my first day. Honestly, it was like, fuck. At what point do I tell everybody that I'm getting a divorce? Like, when do I do this?" She added, quote, "We were always kind of equals when we were together. I rode horses, I was competitive, and I was all these things. Then I couldn't get pregnant naturally. I did all these IVFs. Then all of a sudden, he was in charge of our finances, and I had never had that. I never not had my own money. I had been working since I was 17. Then I just started hating him." And this wasn't the end of her public tirade against Edwin last year, as in another episode of 2 Teas in a Pod, which aired in October 2023, Teddi said, quote, "For years, I had so much resentment towards Edwin, and it was to the point where I couldn't even look at him. Once you've been burned, it's hard to come back from that." When co-host Tamra pushed to find out if Teddi was suggesting Edwin had cheated on her, Teddi kept it vague, saying, quote, "Let me just say, you get more controlling and more guarded when your family is involved." But then, in an episode of Watch What Happens Live, which aired on October 26, 2023, Teddi was discussing rumours of Mauricio being photographed with other women while he was with Kyle, and hinted again, more blatantly this time, at Edwin's own transgressions.
My first season, I was hiding something with Edwin, and I 99% thought that our marriage wasn't going to make it.
So clearly, there was trouble in paradise from very early on, much earlier than any viewers ever knew. However, Teddi was nothing if not conflicting, as just a few months after this podcast episode aired, in July 2024, Teddi and Edwin celebrated their 13th wedding anniversary, where Teddi posted to her Instagram writing, quote, "3 years ago, I said I do to you. 15 years together and 13 years married. I am proud of us," she continued. "From Paris to the Riviera Maya, it's been years of discovery, laughter, tears, growth, and companionship. While not perfect, we've put in the work to make our marriage what it is today, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Love you, Papa. Excited to celebrate with you today and the beautiful family we have created." Edwin also posted to Instagram in celebration of their special day, saying, quote, 13 years ago, I married who I thought was the woman of my dreams. But as the years have gone by, I've realized she's not just the woman of my dreams, she's also the mother of my dreams, the wife of my dreams, and the love of my life. Plus, she keeps a mean calendar. Thank you for all that you do for me and our family. I love you. But Edwin's marriage of his dreams was swiftly turning into a nightmare, as on November 1st, 2024, Teddi officially filed for divorce, putting an end to their 13-year marriage. According to an insider interview with the US Sun, it was, quote, 100% Teddi's decision to pull the trigger. The source said, quote, "It was not just one thing that led to it. She would never leave the father of her children over a single thing. It took a long time, a really long time, and a lot of pain for years, for her to decide that this is what was best for her and the kids." The source also spoke on the struggles Teddi and Edwin were going through back in 2017, when she first joined Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, saying that there were serious issues in their past that Teddi had to work through. The source stated, quote, "She went on a long journey to forgive and trust again. The first year she was on Beverly Hills, she was secretly fighting a lot of trauma no one except maybe Kyle knew about. But again, she wanted to keep her family together, so they worked through it privately." Sounds like this inside source could be referring to infidelity if she's talking about forgiveness and rebuilding trust. But we'll be talking more about the infidelity rumours shortly. For now, it's time to get into everything we know about the court documents. So, on Friday, November 1st, Teddi filed for divorce from Edwin, citing irreconcilable differences as the grounds for their divorce, and claiming the official date of their separation was October 20th, roughly 2 weeks before the filing. Remember this date as it comes up later. Although the full court documents haven't been made public yet, Teddi's main requests have been revealed. The first of these being that she requested primary physical and legal custody of their 3 children, but stated that she is okay with Edwin having, quote, reasonable and frequent visitation. Teddi is also seeking spousal support from Edwin, which seems to be the second point of contention. However, she checked the box to block the court's ability to award her now estranged husband Edwin spousal support from her. Teddi claimed that, quote, the true nature and extent of her separate property assets and debts are unknown at this time, and she asked the court to, quote, amend this petition when same has been ascertained. Basically meaning she needs to calculate her assets before they determine whether she would owe him spousal support. The final and seemingly most controversial of Teddi's requests, she petitioned the court to enforce that Edwin cover her attorney's fees and costs, which is interesting considering she filed the divorce. But maybe it has something to do with the alleged rumours of infidelity. We'll come on to these shortly. So, after publicly filing on November 1st, the following day, on Saturday, November 2nd, Teddi, like all great Bravo stars do, took to Instagram to publicly announce the divorce. In a statement on Instagram, she said, quote, after a great deal of care and consideration, I have made the difficult decision to file for divorce. My priority is my children and ensuring that every care is taken with their privacy and well-being throughout this new chapter. She continued, quote, making a public statement is not something I wanted to do, but in an effort to protect my family from undue speculation and rumours, I felt being open, honest, and vulnerable was the best path forward. As you can expect, the internet picked up on this news and went wild. especially given that just a week before this announcement, on October 24th, Teddi and Edwin had attended the annual charity gala for Cure Melanoma at the Plaza Hotel in New York City, and Eddie had shared the following post to his Instagram with the caption, quote, "To see Teddi embrace her pain and use it for the greater good again last night as she emceed the Cure Melanoma Gala was a beautiful reminder of what she is capable of. Her story has already saved lives, and I couldn't be prouder that she will continue to save more. Love you, Teds." The strangest thing about all of this, Teddi, in her filing, said that the pair officially separated on October 20th, which is 4 days before this melanoma event on the 24th. Did things go so drastically wrong in the week between the gala and the divorce filing? Were the pair putting on a brave face for the charity event even though they'd already split? Was there simply just an explosive and sudden end to their relationship as a result of the ongoing resentment and rumours? I've even seen some speculation that Teddi felt empowered since witnessing Kyle and Mauricio's divorce to go through with something that she's wanted to do for a while. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, let's continue with the timeline of events. So, on November 3rd, one day after Teddi publicly announced their divorce on Instagram, Edwin shared a cryptic post to his story, which featured a photo of him at the gym alongside the caption, quote, "You're not always going to be motivated or inspired. That's where rituals and habits come in. Having good habits is what will get you through your dark days. It's when you're under pressure that your true character is revealed." Of course, Page 6 immediately picked up on this, taking Edwin's hint at dark days to be a reflection of everything going on in the breakdown of his marriage to Teddi. And the media frenzy around this already messy divorce continued to ramp up, as Teddi once again took to two teas in a pod on November 5th, now 4 days after the filing, to speak about the divorce.
At this point, I'm, obviously only going to share what I shared on social media. I just am trying, I don't even know how to say this eloquently, but I am just trying my hardest to make sure that my kids' privacy is protected right now, and that we're able to, have all of these conversations, and it just doesn't, I just didn't want it to blow up.
Teddi went on to explain that she's not ready to give the full story publicly yet.
As being somebody who recaps other people's things, don't be a hypocrite, Teddi. But when it does come to this and children, I think there's just
it's a
room
little
to
bit
give
different than what somebody's doing on a reality show.
Yeah.
But there's no hiding from the public eye with this one, as the headlines have been non-stop since Teddi's public announcement. And things only got worse for the pair when just last week, on November 8th, Edwin filed his response to Teddi's court documents. In Edwin's filing, he lists November 1st as the date of the couple's official separation. This is not only the date that Teddi officially filed for the divorce, but it is also more than 2 weeks after Teddi's official given date of October 20th. So someone is either very confused or all out lying. What do you guys think is going on here? Anyway, other than the discrepancy with the separation dates, Edwin's filing is very different from Teddi's, and it looks like things are about to get very, very ugly. To start with, Edwin's filing focused on the existence of a prenuptial agreement, which he wants the court to enforce in response to Teddi's requests for spousal support, custody of their 3 children, and for him to pay her attorney's fees. When it comes to spousal support, Edwin alleges that the prenup, signed before their wedding in July 2011, states how they should divide their assets. He states that, quote, "All assets, income from all sources, and obligations of each party are his/her separate property," meaning that he wouldn't owe Teddi nearly as much as she's trying to claim from him. In fact, in his petition, Edwin requested that Teddi should be the one to pay him spousal support and asked the court to terminate their ability to award her support from him. Edwin stated that the prenup, quote, "sets forth the terms regarding the amount and duration of spousal support to be paid," so he requested that this be enforced by the court rather than Teddi's demands that he pay her based on the pair's current assets. Also, in response to Teddi seeking full legal and physical custody of their children and allowing him reasonably frequent visitation, Edwin requests joint custody over Dove, Slate, and Cruz. Now let's get to the juiciest part, the rumours. The internet is buzzing with allegations of infidelity on both sides. Let's start with Teddi and the all-out brawl that resulted from her alleged infidelity. In the wake of Teddi's divorce filing on November 7th, Dumois announced on her podcast, Do You, that she has received multiple DMs claiming that Teddi was having a long-term affair with her married horse trainer and that this was a, quote, open secret in the equestrian community for months before Edwin found out. Apparently, when the horse trainer's wife learned of their secret relationship, she had a, quote, all-out brawl with Teddi at a public horse show in mid-September. It also seems like Edwin was the last to learn about this, as according to Dumois' DMs, Edwin only found out about Teddi's undercover affair the day before the divorce was announced. Unsurprisingly, Kelly Dodd from RHOC weighed in on the allegations. In a post by the account Bravo Housewives on November 12th, which recapped the details of Edwin's prenup, Kelly commented, quote, she cheated, she's a douchebag. I know for a fact because Robin told me everything, Teddi. You know that I know everything. I hope Edwin gets custody. But the cheating rumours don't stop with Kelly. As we know, Teddi has insinuated many times in the past that Edwin was being unfaithful for years, and Dumois commented on this too, saying, quote, allegedly, Edwin was cheating on Teddi. From the sound of it, Teddi knew to some extent and they were working through it. So to see this is not shocking and sounds like Teddi just had enough. Since recording this video on November 13th, so much additional news and juicy details have been revealed that I just had to include in this video. So make sure you stay tuned until the end for all of the latest updates about the affairs and the divorce filing. Anyway, Kelly wasn't the only one to make a public comment on this divorce, as it seems Kyle Richards had a major part to play in Teddi and Edwin's split. We know from an inside source who was interviewed by the US Sun that Kyle was a source of comfort for Teddi when she was going through her struggles with Edwin back in 2017. But according to this same source, it seems that Teddi was almost inspired by Kyle's divorce. The source said, quote, I think once Kyle left Mauricio and got that empowered independence, it helped Teddi see the light of being like, oh, I can make these decisions no matter my age, even if I have kids, and it will still be okay. The source added, quote, so really, Kyle was the catalyst of Teddi finding the power to leave a situation that no longer suited her. And Kyle has been a rock for Teddi throughout this and is helping her navigate this new life. Kyle even told People magazine that she's been giving Teddi advice on dealing with a very public divorce, stating, quote, she can lean on me and show up at my door anytime she wants, no matter what time of night it is. Kyle added, she's watched me go through this and she knows. So I think you just have to focus on your kids. You have to tune out the noise. So it seems she might really have been the catalyst for all this drama after all. But whether Kyle has played a part or not, the inside source had one more nugget of information to reveal to The Sun before the end of the interview. And it was information which makes this whole situation even more awkward. The source stated, quote, the fact it was a long time coming and not some shocker helped with the transition process. It sounds cliche, but they really are just focused on the kids right now and making this as stress-free as possible for them. No one has moved out of the house yet. They're still under one roof and figuring out a path forward. So that's the timeline of events up to the date of original recording on November 13th. Now it's time for the latest updates. And we're jumping right back in where we left off, as despite the source telling The Sun on November 8th that Teddi was yet to move out, on November 13th, Teddi was photographed with large bags, saying goodbye to Edwin outside their family home, which has led to speculation that Teddi has since moved out. Plus, details of Edwin's past indiscretions have been revealed. You know those references Teddi was making to something Edwin did that she had to forgive right before joining Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Well, according to a report made by Page 6 on November 14th, Edwin allegedly had an affair with a woman named Missy between 2015 and 2016. No one seems to be entirely sure how long the affair lasted, with one source claiming 6 months and another stating it lasted a year. But either way, it wasn't simply a fleeting mistake. And it only gets worse as Teddi knew Missy. Again, there's a bit of a discrepancy here over how close the pair were, as one source described Missy as Teddi's best friend, while another suggested they'd only interacted a handful of times. But again, however close Teddi was with her, Edwin's hands definitely aren't clean in this fight. According to the Page 6 report, Teddi discovered the affair in March 2016, during the time when she was auditioning for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. As Teddi has stated herself, she did a lot of work at that time and the pair nearly got divorced. However, Edwin agreed to work things out, end the affair and focus on his family. But things still get worse from here, as another source noted that Teddi was unaware of how much Edwin had actually cheated and if he'd been with more than one person. So no wonder Teddi was distraught back in 2017 and probably still feels betrayed even to this day. And it seems that nearly 8 years after the affair, Teddi chose to get even when she sparked up an affair with her horse trainer, Simon Schroeder, in May 2024. Allegedly, Teddi and Simon continued this affair for months, even traveling to Florida together for an equestrian event while Simon's partner, Carly Postel, was in California in labor with their second child. According to a source who spoke to the Daily Mail, Carly, quote, thought it was suspicious that her husband was in Florida when she was giving birth. But when he returned to his home, Carly allegedly discovered inappropriate texts between Teddi and Simon, which led to the heated public confrontation at the horse show in September. During this, quote, brawl, Teddi and Simon allegedly confessed to their relationship and promised it wouldn't happen again. The source added that Carly didn't tell Edwin when she found out, as she wanted to give Simon another chance. However, as we know, Edwin then learned of the affair on October 31st, the day before Teddi filed for divorce. According to Daily Mail's source, Teddi's chosen date to file wasn't simply a coincidence. The source stated, quote, Teddi filed for divorce from Edwin so that he did not have the chance to file and get her for adultery. They added, it has been alleged that the marriage ended because Edwin cheated on Teddi, but it's actually the other way around. And that's not even the end of this mess, as on Thursday, November 14th, Teddi and Simon's partner Carly both attended the Las Vegas National Horse Show at the same time. According to reports, Carly competed in the event while Teddi was there supporting her daughter Slate, who was also participating. Sources revealed that Carly was still wearing her wedding ring and that she and Teddi didn't interact publicly throughout the day. Talk about awkward. And there's been more news on the legal proceedings too, as a source told the US Sun that Teddi is, quote, afraid of what Edwin might do to come out on top during their divorce. The source stated, quote, he wants to look good and wants to maintain custody of the kids, so he's willing to do whatever to make that happen. Teddi's scared it's gotten to this point and has grown more and more afraid of what he's willing to do. The insider noted, quote, Teddi hates the kids are being dragged through this, and she hates even more so how public it's become. So shielding her kids from all of this negativity is her top priority. They added, because of this, she is really disappointed Edwin can't have the same grace towards her. However, in response to these claims, a source told Page 6, quote, there is zero truth to the report that Edwin is trying to take down Teddi. He's always wanted to keep this matter amicable for the whole family. So that's the full timeline on everything we know so far. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. What do you guys think about this? Who should get custody of the kids and who should pay who spousal support? It seems to me that Teddi should have ended this marriage after Edwin's first affair and we wouldn't be in this mess. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more celebrity news and updates on this case as it happens. Thanks for watching.